Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Broman Clash right here, and this time I want to talk about something that everybody deserves, but none of the people, not really everybody understands. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about respect. Everybody wants respect, everybody needs respect, but not everybody understands it. And the sad part about, people not understanding respect is the fact that, respect, it doesn't come at an instant. It doesn't come from being forceful. It comes over time, and eventually you'll understand what respect is. But when it comes right down to respect, people think it comes at an instant. Oh, it comes through fear. No, fear and respect are two different things. Don't get it twisted. And it's sad too because you may do all the good in the world, but you may not earn the respect of all people. That's beautiful, man. That shows off that people, they don't respect you because you're you. But don't take that as a way to say, hey, look, have an ego boost, have an ego trip, all that bullshit. No. Mm-mm-mm. That's not the case. But when I'm talking about doing ego, when I'm talking about respect, I'm talking about, hey, I understand you, you understand me, you respect my decision, I respect your decisions. Basically, you do your own thing and I respect it. And what is basically respect? See, look, respect is when people acknowledge or understand or, give you praise for what you're doing, especially when you earn it. May not be the whole definition text, the textbook definition of respect, but, that's how we feel about it. It comes through effort. It doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come over time because if it does, then something's up. But, everybody's different. Everybody come and go. That's sad. But you gotta respect life. As life comes, life goes. As life stays, it shows. Life let loose and let the chains go. See, like everybody, it's real sad when people think that respect should come to you when you raise an iron fist or when you have the loudest voice. No, that's not respect. You just want to. Have you ever heard this old proverb? I think it's an African proverb. A hollow drum beats the loudest in the quiet forest. I understand that's a euphemism just to say, hey, look, be quiet and just listen. You hear a lot of things. But take that into account with respect. Because with respect, you also notice that, hey, if you be quiet for a bit and you take a good listen, you know, you might understand that, hey, this is cool. Not everybody's gonna respect you. Not everybody's gonna, understand you. And that's not bad. That's a part of life. You have to get used to it. And looking at that and looking at how the way people are willing to claim that they are respectful, put that in air quotes because if you claim that you are respectful but yet you do disrespectful tactics or are disrespectful in the background, then it showed off that, hey, you're not respectful. No matter how many times you talk about it, you will never understand it because respect does not come from how the way people talk. It doesn't come from how the way people think or what their religious background is. Because I met some disrespectful motherfuckers that act as if, hey, I'm a part of religion, and I've read that through history, seen that through history, and it's sad too. Respect comes from what you do. Respect comes from what you do, how you are as a character, and how you will be as a person. That's the problem, People think that respect is just like this all mystical, all knowing thing. No, it's not a deity. No, not like the cosmic essence of the world, but it is very important because everybody needs to understand, needs to grow, and needs to be, man. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about respect. It doesn't come overnight. How many times am I gonna repeat that? Respect does not come overnight. It's earned through a process. But people don't want to do the process. You want to know why? Because, hey, they want things to come in a hurry. They want to prove other people who doubted them wrong. And, they just want to say, hey, look, you want to know how it is? This is what I do. And if you got a problem with it, then I got my posse with me. Yeah, that's right. As some comedians would joke, white people say entourage, black people say posse. I know stereotypes are fucked up, but you catch my drift. Respect is beautiful. It is beautiful to the highest degree because it requires one thing, just like positive emotions, understanding. If you understand somebody, then you don't have to worry about any other obstacle. I mean, hey, sometimes the person that you don't like will just say, you know what, man, let me just take the effort out and just say, hello. And if they take the effort out to say hello, even after all that time, they just did this, won't even acknowledge you, but yeah, they say, hey, how you doing? You know, that takes a lot of courage, but some people don't look at that. We live in a spiteful generation. That's the thing. We do. We live in a spiteful generation. We live in a disrespectful generation. And don't worry, not all of us are disrespectful and not all of us are spiteful. There's a handful of us that look at life and just say, hey, look, I understand not everything's gonna go our way. And sometimes I hate that, but I have to accept it. But at the same time, when you respect how life is, then you don't have to worry about what will become or what bad things will happen. You just say, hey, bring it on, I'm a champ. But when you look at things, when you look at life, when you look at death, when you look at balance, when you look at nature, you look at industry, you look at everything has a respectable place in life. But problem is people don't understand respect, thus they won't honor it to the highest degree. And that's the damaging thing about respect, because respect requires, like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to hammer it into your heads. And some of you may say, like, I don't want to agree. And that's cool. I respect that. But hey, respect comes in different ways. But this is my way of expressing how respect goes. And along from that brief intermission, see, respect requires understanding. And when you understand somebody, understand their struggle, understand where they're coming from, understand what their lifestyle is, and then you realize, like, hey, they're not bad people. Sure, they may have some fucked up blood, but hey, they're not bad people, man. They're cool, but there's some people who will pretend to be respectful. They'll do some spiteful crap right behind your back. You'll just be like this. Yeah, whoa. That's just sad. What's wrong with you, man? You're not supposed to act like that. Like, that's not respect. That's disrespect. And people equate respect with fear. Those are two entirely different things. They're not meant to go together. They were never meant to go together. And if you thought they went together, then you've just been bamboozled. You've been hoodwinked. As great Malcolm X once said, may he rest in peace. Honorable, respectful man right there. So is Dr. King as well. So is a myriad of other leaders, because I respect them. Wanna know why I respect them? because they had enough courage and they had enough understanding to say, I respect, we respect our people because we understand where they're coming from. We understand their struggles. We understand what what's their what's bothering them. That's the thing. Respect requires understanding. And it's just sad that people don't have the patience to understand things. But yet they rather feel like, oh yeah, people don't don't understand me, they don't respect me. So if they're not gonna respect me, then shit, they might as well fear me. Man. But listen here. See, fear, it stems from a negative emotion. And once you overcome fear, just like a bone will overcome a fracture and become stronger, then fear will no longer have hold. In fact, it will just become weaker. So fear is just ridiculous because it doesn't require understanding. In fact, it requires a sense of sabotage, to get one over a person instead of looking at each other as equals. And, it's real sad because when you look at respect and you look at it to nowadays, and some of you may look at me and say, like, why are you gonna say this for? And I have to say, like, when you look at nowadays, you look at how black folks treat each other, how we look at each other and we say, man, why should I respect you? Why should I look at you as if you're me? You don't take care of my son. You don't look at me as one of my family. I'm like, wait, boy, wait. Now, that's where disrespect comes from, because just because you had a harder life doesn't necessarily mean you gotta take your energy out on other people. Hey, I dealt that once before too, and just like craps, I dealt with bad dice, and it's not good. And don't worry, I don't gamble. That's not my thing. Anybody can just ran rolls? No, I'm just jiving. But now back on the topic of respect, because respect, like the old school dice hand, it's not by chance, it's by time. And the fact that we took time to understand and respect each other, then all that respect just said, wow, just got smashed. But just like I said, as respect is broken, you can rebuild it and it can be refortified. But the problem is this, that takes time. Understanding takes time. Positivity takes time. It's not going to come overnight. But the problem is this, people are not patient, and that's another key aspect of respect. You have to be patient. And I think it's real sad that people are not patient enough to say, hey, let me lend an hearing, let me lend an ear, to hear somebody or listen to somebody's troubles and see if I could, help them out. And it's just like, hey, man, it's good to talk to people. But it's just real sad that, people don't respect that because they say, oh, I don't like that person. And what if they change, motherfucker? Just like you change for the worse? And you think you're better than everybody else? Then that means you don't want me for a friend, motherfucker. In case you don't know where that joke came from, that came from, Richard Pryor doing his Jim Brown impression. But from that brief intermission on to that intermission, from out of that intermission. But respect, like I said before, respect. It's not like ramen noodles. You don't pop it in the microwave and then expect it to be done in 3 minutes. No. If anything, respect takes like 3 years to build, and then after you chip down respect with disrespect, then disrespect could take like the same amount of years, if not faster, because you placed your trust in that person. See, respect requires three things: trust, patience, and time. Trust, patience, and time. But all three of those require 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 essence in it. They require just listening. But problem is this: people nowadays don't do that. And then if you look at how the way black folks, how the way we treat each other, and I understand some of y'all saying like, yeah, but you got police officers that treat us worse. I'm not knocking you off of that. As a matter of fact, you're right. You have the right to defend yourself. Don't forget that. But the reason why I'm saying this is because the respect level for each other is damn near at an all-time low. And I asked this question before, and some of you may have heard it before, or if you have me on Facebook, you say like, "Damn, man, I heard what you asked before." And I asked this question, and this is for my people: did we fall as a people? Answer me. I'm gonna be honest. Answer me with an honest gesture. Be respectful. Answer the question: did we fall as a people? Because I remember my pops, he responded. He said, in some cases we did, in some cases we didn't. And I could see that, and I could respect his decision because he provided not only evidence, but he provided like proof. And I said, that's true. But at the same time, the reason why I'm going to tell you, the reason why we fell as a people, because we trusted more fiction than we did with reality. And then that caused a sense of distrust between us, between us as a people. And that's sad. And no, not every single black person is like this. Don't get me wrong. But, we used to be together. We used to look at each other. We used to say, hey, look, me and you may have fought once before, man, but we're friends now, motherfucker. Are you down for the revolution? He said, I respect where you're coming from. And I'm down. And I'm like, yo, let's go. You ready to fight? And they say, yeah. But what are we fighting for? We're fighting for our dignity. And respect does not require pride. It requires dignity, but not pride. Pride and dignity are two different things. Like ego and confidence, they're two different things. See, respect and fear are two different things. Respect is beautiful. And when you see the black man, when you respect the black woman, that's respect. When you respect the black family, that's great respect. But when you respect black ancestry, that's the greatest respect. Because you're respecting what came before you. And that's your lineage. And that's the reason why we fell as a people, because majority of us don't even know who we are. And if we do, we disrespect our own heritage. And that's sad. And some of you may say, like, why are you attacking black folks for? It's because, I love my people. And some of you may say, like, why are you talking down upon us, but yet you say you love us? And I say this, man, like, I'm going to keep it real with you. The reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I'm just speaking out upon this is because I'm concerned, I'm genuinely concerned, and I'm just looking like, yo, man, we got like young men, young black men, young black women, young us, around my age. I'm 20 years old, getting shot up, getting killed, getting kidnapped, getting shot up by police, getting harmed by their parents, like, man, while on the outside it's It's not apparent, but in the inside, subconsciously, it's there. The disrespect is there, all because of what? Because of what happened back then. See, respect actually requires letting go and moving on. That's respect right there. Don't do it out of spite. Do it as like, you know what, man? What's the point? Because I don't see any benefit from you. And as a matter of fact, you don't respect me because you look down upon me. And you know what else too? I say, hey, if you don't like where I'm coming from, then I can't help you, man. That's just it. But when it comes right down to respect, it comes right down to one core thing, and it surpasses all things. Respect requires love. It requires love. Respect requires love. And if you don't have love, then how are you going to have respect? Like I said about my people, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to respect yourself? If you don't love your woman, how are you going to love your woman? If you don't respect your woman, how you gonna love your woman? And if you don't love your family, how you gonna respect your family? And if you don't respect your ancestry, how you gonna love yourself? That's the thing. And then, coming right down to it, how you gonna look at everybody else and say, yo, I can respect life, but you don't love yourself? Self-respect comes first. Self-love comes first. And if you love yourself and you love where you're coming from, then hey, everything else will just come past. And you wanna know the beautifulest thing I've ever seen? When a man and a woman can cast aside their differences and say, hey, I respect you and I love you. And they say it with an intention of meaning it. That's beautiful. And some of you may say, like, why you coming on like, black folks for? Aren't you black too? I'm like, yes, I am black. And I'm speaking on a black problem because we don't respect and love each other like we used to. Remember this old quote? And I'm going to give it to you right here. Straight up. It takes a village to raise a child. What happened to the village? We have many orphans running around here because they don't know where their village is. We can start our own village, which is the family. And just like this, and I remember reading this before, and I ain't gonna lie. When you raise a man, you raise an individual. But when you raise a woman, you raise a nation. Now, take that with a grain of salt. If you respect a man, you respect an individual. But if you respect the woman, you respect the nation. Because you know why? Because if you respect the woman, because the woman carries life. And if you respect the woman, you respect life. And if you respect the man, you respect, authority. And I know some of you may say, like, oh, isn't that, a bit gender role right there? In some cases, yes. But in some cases, you gotta really think about it. What do you typically see of a man? Outside of TV, what are your thoughts of a man? What is a man? And what is a woman? That's what I love to know. And with that, YouTube, I respect all of you, thus I love all of you. This is Broman Class saying, I one. And I would like to say, love y'all, respect y'all. Hope you have a great time at night. I one. Later.